Okay. So, children don't get this. The relative versus the absolute. Dear child, I put this together because a lot of adults are still children, especially in their approach to trying to understand the things of God. There are many things in the scriptures that are relative, and there are many things that are absolute. And if you don't understand that some things are relative and some things are absolute, then you're going to find that it's a contradiction in the scriptures. Okay, dear child, children often do not get that some things are relative and some things are absolute. Some things are true as to feeling, but while they are not true as to fact. I can understand your struggle at the thought that all is of God. I too was shocked, I say, at the words of Isaiah 45:7 when I first read them many years ago. The thought that God created both good and evil was totally foreign to me at the time. How can these things be? I inwardly raged. This is impossible, I thought to myself. Yet there it was in black and white. All is of God. No. That God created both good and evil. Yet there it was in black and white. All of my Christian training up to that point had rebelled at such a thought. Sure, we mouthed the words that there was only one God, but inwardly we knew that there was another God, one called Satan or the devil, who in the end would harvest more souls with his ways than our God would with his ways. And yet, there it was in black and white. God created both good and evil. I was stunned. What I secretly feared the most was not what I was going to have to rethink this whole God is good thing, but what I feared, what my Christian brothers and sisters would say to me if I dared show them Isaiah 45:7. Rejection is a frightful thing. Convincing myself is one thing, convincing them is quite another. Christian culture can be quite cruel. For me, Isaiah 45:7 came a few years before Romans 11:36. The Romans passage is still quite invisible. It was still quite invisible to my eyes, yet Isaiah's declaration of God creating both good and evil set the stage for me to believe the Romans 11:36 revelation. When telling any story, there are plenty of setups, one after another, which are not true as to fact, yet they are true as to feeling. But you must hear the whole story to see the whole truth. The story can be of Huck Finn, or the grand story of the purpose of God from Ephesians 3:11. Each story has twists and turns and surprises here and there and foreshadowing galore. Many things are relatively true, but are in no ways absolutely true. The child would be most fascinated with the revelation along the way, with the relative. The child will be most fascinated with the relative along the way and totally fight the absolute revealed at the end. That God knows the beginning from the end should give us a clue. That Christ was the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world, that should give us a clue. That we were chosen in him before the foundation of the world, that should give us another clue. There are not two gods, not really. There's only one God who carefully laid out his purpose and is carrying it out without anything at all going wrong, as he is the master builder. Every detail is planned. Every element is coming together perfectly. Adam's actions in the garden were not a test of resiliency, resulting in a surprise to the all-knowing God, all-wise God. The whole event was planned, orchestrated, and guaranteed to bring man into his present condition. The cross of Christ was not an afterthought, a backup rescue plan. It was known from the beginning, and it was and will be the fount of all blessings throughout the whole universe. None will escape its life-giving radiance. The Father of all was so proud of his boy's achievement there at the cross. That's why the veil was rent. That's why the stone was rolled away. So very much had been accomplished. And now we all await the grand expectation. That which is relatively true seems so troubling to the young mind. But that which is absolutely true is what brings peace and joy to all. From 1 Corinthians 8:6. To us, therefore, there is but one God, the Father of all, of whom all are all things, and we in him, and one Lord Jesus Christ, by whom are all things, and we by him. From Romans 11:36, for out of him, and through him, and to him are all things. From Isaiah 45:7, God created both good and evil. From 2 Corinthians 5:18 and 19, yet all is of God. From Acts 17:25, God gives life and breath and all to all. In him we live and move and are. Grace to you, all of you.